welcome to another week with author Ejamie. So, about to head out on my walk. Today I'm going just to the library, drop off some stuff, and just a thrift store, pick up some books likely. So for this week, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go to the Old Mill neighborhood, which I've seen like pictures of here and there, and it always like seemed like really pretty, and just to sort of like walk around there. I'll either do that or to the St. Lawrence Market tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I know that St. Lawrence Market unfortunately only has the I believe only has like the flea market stuff on the weekends, which is unfortunate because that's usually when I work. But I think that St. Lawrence Market still has like some, it may just be food, or it may just like, I just want to see if it's just like food there or if there's like other things to sort of look at. Not planning to buy anything unless, again, I find a cameo ring, which I could do it online, but you know, if I can go and like support, you know, Toronto businesses, then I would like to do that. And Friday we'll check out another free little library. So looking forward to that. Oh, I should have went and got it before I did this. Every time. So Callie is doing great. The buds that were still to bloom have bloomed. And she smells so nice. She really does. Unfortunately, we've lost baby Vinka. She was with us, you know, she had a good life with us. She was with us for like over 2 months, almost 3 months, I believe. But we lost her. I'm keeping her though, because I'm hoping maybe it's just like a fall thing, and like if I keep, you know, like watering her and taking care of her, maybe she'll like bloom again. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm gonna keep her around. I'm not ready to let go of her yet, because she's been so good. She's been so good to us. Yeah. So put that over there for now, because you had one job. You had one job and you failed at it. So Jane Eyre is still my favorite classic. Ruth by Elizabeth Gaskell came close, but she had that little bit of a dry spot in the middle, and that ending made me want to burn that ending and shove it down the garbage disposal. I hated the ending to this book, because in our last update, and again, I keep debating, like, you know, should I be spoilering these things? Should I not be spoilering in these things? I can't tell you why I hate this book. Okay, that's not fair. Why I hated the ending to this book without spoiling it. Because, okay, last update, Ruth died because she went to go and take care of that ass butt, Bellingham, after she had, for like the longest time, she was at the hospital, she was all around sick people, but she was fine. And then, of course, Bellingham gets sick. Bellingham gets sick, and she has to go to him, and because, you know, there's still that tiny part of her, like, because one, she's a good person, and two, there's still that teeny tiny part of her that still loves him, even though he is undeserving of that love. And so she goes and she cares for him and nurses him through his illness, and he gets better, but she catches it and dies. And everybody's all sad. And so, and Bellingham seems to, he seems to be, like, touched and moved, and, like, his redemption sort of didn't go as far as I wanted it to, but there was a seed of something there. There was a seed of, like, goodness in him that got more brought to the surface by Ruth's death, which you can complain about and make, like, all sort of arguments that, like, oh, why did a woman have to, like, make a man better, and blah blah blah, and, like, why did she have to die for his redemption, blah blah blah. Shut up. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that complaining. What I do complain about is that he comes back and, is, like, affected by Ruth's death, and he comes back to, rightfully in my opinion, want to see his son, and, he wants to take him and, like, make him, just sort of, like, raise him and, like, give him, like, a more prosperous life and education and all that stuff. And Mr. Benson, God bless him, is still, like, in a sign of loyalty to Ruth, is sort of like, get thee behind me, Satan. No. Ain't gonna happen. Ruth wanted you to have nothing to do with this child, and just, no. And then Bellingham is basically like, okay, I tried, bye. And he leaves. Which, no, that is not what I wanted to happen. You know who does get a redemption? The Mr. Bradshaw. Or who is we're supposed to believe has had a redemption. Good Mr. Bradshaw. What the fuck do I care about Mr. Bradshaw for? He was such an ass butt to Ruth. Just horrible, horrible. And all about, like, oh, you are a dirty whore, and your son is, like, is a sin, is basically an abomination, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes to Mr. Benson, and he supposedly now wants to be the one to help Leonard, and help Leonard have a more prosperous life, and, have, like, a education, and, like, get, like, a foot into society. Mr. Bradshaw wants to help do all these things. And then it ends with, like, him and Mr. Benson sort of, like, tearfully, silently acknowledging that they are now friends again. What the? No. Just no. I did not go through all that to have some not a nameless, but have some freaking side character, piece of shit side character, get a so-called redemption arc. The redemption arc should have been Harry Bellingham's. And he should have gone to his son and got to actually speak to his son and tell him how sorry he was for abandoning his mother and everything that he did and everything that he caused Ruth to go through. That should have been the redemption arc. That should have been the redemption story. That should have been the ending to that book, where, like, Leonard forgives him regardless of what Ruth wanted. God rest her soul, Ruth is dead. Leonard needs to be his own man and make his own decisions, and in my mind, he would have forgiven his father, and once Harry had shown he was truly remorseful, had a relationship with his father, and gone and been, like, introduced to society, because Harry had become a better man. That is the redemption story that should have been told. Not not freaking Ruth's boss who treated her like crap. Just, no. So, this was a disappointment. This was a disappointment. However, but because I am now finished that one, I have now started my reread of The Bronze Horseman, where I am starting to annotate it. So excited! I'm loving it so far. And in case you did not know, The Bronze Horseman is a historical fiction love story romance between Tatiana and Alexander, set in Russia during World War II, and it is this heartbreaking, angsty love story where Alexander is an American hiding out in the in the Russian military because his parents made the stupid decision to decide to renounce their U.S. citizenship and go to Russia because they wanted to be communists, because they thought that communism sounded so much better than what was happening in America. Yeah. Oops. So now Alexander is kind of trapped as a Russian soldier, and he falls in love with Tatiana, who is this Russian girl. But Alexander's kind of seeing someone, kind of not seeing someone. He's like seeing someone, but doesn't like really think it's like serious. The person he's seeing really thinks it's serious because she's starting to, have more feelings for him. And oh, by the way, it's Tatiana's sister. Tatiana's sister, Dasha. So we have this. Yeah, I know, we didn't like Dasha either. She's this sort of like self-involved, just totally oblivious to like anyone sort of like but herself. But the thing is, like, she loves Tatiana and sort of like thinks of Tatiana as like hers. Her like Dasha's kind of like a second mother to Tatiana, which is, great, because their real mother is a thunderous twat. I hate their mother. And I will later. So yeah, there's right now Germany is about to attack Russia, or they've already attacked Russia. So Germany has declared war on Russia, when before they were BFFs, and now Germany has betrayed Russia, and the Germans are coming. And we have Alexander, we have Dasha, we have Tatiana, all sort of stuck in this love kind of triangle, but not really, because Tatiana and Alexander clearly are like falling in love with each other. And so Alexander, being, an upstanding guy, is like, okay, I'll end things with Dasha because I want to be with you. And Tatiana's like, no, I don't want you to break my sister's heart, because you'd be breaking my sister's heart, and I love my sister. Tatiana is very much willing to give up her own happiness for others. And at times, that can be very frustrating for the reader. This is a beautiful book. This book series is my favorite of all time. You can find the video here where I compare this series to the Outlander series. They go at it, and this one came out on top. I might link that video to that in the description here. But yeah, so we have Tatiana, we have Alexander, we have Dasha, we have this idiot Dmitri, who is Alexander's best friend, but he's kind of a best friend, but not really, because Alexander kind of can't break things off with Dmitri, and like can't turn against Dmitri, because as we find out later, Dmitri knows that Alexander is an American posing as a Russian. So there's that. So it kind of like, he's kind of blackmailing Alexander, and he puts on this facade of like being Alexander's friend, but he hates Alexander. He hates because Dmitri is like not a good man, and he hates that Alexander is a better soldier than he is, and is just a better man than he is, and he starts looking at Tatiana because he knows that Alexander has feelings for her, and so he wants whatever Alexander has, and that includes Tatiana. So it's this weird, demented sort of, not even triangle but quadrangle, and just Paulina Simon's writing is just beautiful and so lyrical and just rich and just so like emotional and just, yeah. And let me just say, I read this first book years ago, and we're heading into, we're into fall now, we're heading into winter, and before, like when I had time, I would reread this series every year, usually around fall and winter, because there's something about reading this book in the winter that's just, yeah, it just, the atmosphere just like really like helps a lot. But yeah, so we've started, and let me show you my little, for this one, usually like when I annotate and tab things, I don't usually have a system, but for this one, because I will be giving it away, because I have the other edition of it, and that one's more my favorite, because I don't like this cover, but there's like my tabbing system here, if you can see. So we have for blue, we have for sad scenes, with the pink line is for just the beautifully written lines that I want to underline. Pink is for the sort of like romantic, loving scenes. Orange is for the rage, just bits that like made me angry. And yellow is for the funny scenes, because there is, thank God, some humor in this book. So we've started, I'm on page 116, and yeah, Dmitri is, starting to set his eyes on Tatiana, because he can see how much Alexander is, he can sense how much Alexander is, like, wants her, and Alexander is just basically like warning Tatiana that the war is coming, and he's like trying to warn their family to like get all the food you can, hoard everything, and Tatiana's twin brother Pasha has gone off to this camp in an attempt to hide him from the Russian army, who is grabbing up all the boys to fight. Yeah, so that's sort of where we are. So I'm going to head out now, and yeah, so I'll talk to you guys when I get back. and it was lovely. It's really nice and just breezy, and it's cloudy, and there was a few little drops here and there that makes me think it's gonna rain, but luckily it hadn't started when I was out there. So yeah, it was just beautiful, and like you're walking and like just looking at everything, and the leaves are all like changing colors, and I just love fall so much. And I actually forgot that I actually wanted to start off this vlog by wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was this past Monday, and I hope everybody had a lovely Thanksgiving. We're here in Canada, so our Thanksgiving is in October. Y'all in US, I guess you still have to wait till November. I didn't do much of anything. It was just like a nice holiday. I just sort of stayed home. Everything was closed. So I just sort of stayed home and did some, I did my reaction for Lost Season 4, Episode 3. We'll see if YouTube lets me put it up. If not, it's up. It'll be up on Patreon. And I just did some reading, which I think I showed you guys earlier, but I had started, Ron forced me, started annotating it, and this is going to be a giveaway for somebody. So that's what I did on the Monday, and I like going out like on my walks and stuff, but I figured since I only had the one day and then I'd have to go back to work, that I would just stay at home, and it was nice. It was nice to just sort of stay home and not go anywhere. And we're Portuguese, so we don't we do like turkey and stuff and at Christmas usually, but Thanksgiving's not a big thing. For us. We just sort of enjoy the day off. So let me show you what I got on my walk. Went to the library, dropped off stuff there, and then of course went to the thrift store because I have a compulsion, and picked up some awesome books. Let me show you. First of all, I usually, as we know now, when I go out to pick up some books, I like to pick up at least one classic, because I'm trying to get more into classics, even though Ruth, that ending did me dirty. That ending did me really, really dirty. But as a whole, I enjoyed it up to that ending. So I picked up Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Now, I have not read Jane Austen before. I have Pride and Prejudice on there. Look at that, I did that right. What are the odds? On my massive TBR TV show. And you know that I like the Penguin Classic, Black Classic editions, because, I don't know, they just speak classic to me. They speak classic literature to me. But I found this edition, and it's just gorgeous, so I'm not mad about it. Look at that! How pretty is that? I was just like, what? It looks like, oh my god, I just noticed the back. The back has Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, Romeo and Juliet, Jane Eyre in those covers. Like, oh my god. Look at that. Wow. What edition? Harper Teen. I got a Harper Teen edition? Really? Oh, and it looks like it's got a preview of Jane Eyre in here. 10 things you didn't know about Jane Austen. get. It has 10 things you didn't know about Jane Austen. What would you do? A quiz. What would you do in the name of love? Are you sensitive or sensible? Find out how you measure up against the Sense and Sensibility sisters. And an excerpt of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I had to grab it. Even though it's geared toward teenagers, but I think it's like they haven't changed the text. Like the text is still classic. So there's that. I've also found a Harlequin Presents there. Confessions of an Italian Marriage. Harlequin Presents is my favorite Harlequin line. It is also the most bonkers and politically incorrect or just inappropriate bonkers, and I love it. Next I found Helen Forrester's Thursday's Child and the Moneylenders of Shapur, and so there's 2 of them in here, and definitely looking forward to that. It seems that there are these two sort of forbidden romances between one of them is between a British girl and an Indian student, and the other one is between an Indian girl and an Indian boy, but I think he's of a different social standing than her, and maybe different religion. So looking forward to that. And then I found this, which I've never heard of, and it's by Elizabeth Allende, and it's Aphrodite, a Memoir of the Senses. And I don't know what this is, but it's just, here's the dedication. So it was published in 1995. Or no, excuse me. Yeah. And here's the dedication. I dedicate these erotic meanderings to playful lovers and, why not, also to frightened men and melancholy women. I think this is going to be quite enjoyable. Oh, excuse me, no, it was published in 1998. But there are, like, bits and bobs in here from, like, different... There's, like, stuff from Annis Nin in here. And Annis, right? It's Annis Nin, the erotic writer. There's stuff by Charles Fox, Alison Fell, Pablo Neruda. I think it's basically just her writing about erotic fiction. I think it's like her, as Isabel Allende, writing about different erotic writings through history. And I'm so excited. I'm so looking forward to reading this. I mean, look at that back cover. I mean, what is she? You think, yeah. She's eating, what is she eating? I don't know. But yeah. So, very, very much looking forward to that one. And the last one that I got, and I've mentioned this before, I didn't have a copy, but I had read this, I think I got it from the library, and that's how I read it. And I finally got my own copy. My absolute favorite Edward Rutherford of all time is still his first one that I read, and that is Sarum. Absolutely. It's my favorite Edward Rutherford thus far. And I've read Paris. I've read either The Princes of Ireland or The Rebels of Ireland, or I've read a few of them now, but Serum is still my favorite. So when I saw it, I had to grab it because, oh my goodness, it was, yeah, absolutely loved it. So looking forward to rereading this one very much. So that's what I picked up at the thrift store. Then I got home, into my apartment, checked my mail, and I found this. Maybe I should have taken it out of the bag because of the glare. Nope. Yeah, that's fine. Elle Gourmet. It's a magazine. I didn't buy it. I didn't subscribe to it. It just showed up in my mailbox. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's just like a free like preview, free premiere kind of thing, because I know Elle does fashion, Elle does decor, but this is the first time I've ever seen them do food, and I love food magazines. So did I subscribe to this in like a stupor? I don't get drunk, I don't get high. I'm thinking that it's just like a preview, first edition kind of magazine that they sent to people they know like to buy magazines. I don't know. But oh, I'm so looking forward to this. It's a food magazine. So that was in my mailbox. So right, what am I gonna do today for the rest of the day? I'm going back to make lunch. And I'm thinking of filming a new what to watch during Droughtlander video for Vikings. And I think I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Droughtlander is the space of time between Outlander, the TV show, seasons, where we don't have a new season, so we're waiting for the new season to start. And in that wasteland of time, I like to suggest other shows that you can watch. And since I just finished Vikings, I will be doing a what to watch during Droughtlander for Vikings. I don't know. I don't think I've been spoilery. I don't think in my what to watch videos. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be spoilery. And then I'm not going to do it today, but I'm thinking of doing a new video series where I go through my TBR and sort of do like a speed dating through my TBR, because I haven't had one of these in a while, like a lazy day where I just sort of stay in bed and just read and nap, and that over the years has really helped with my anemia and to sort of keep the flare-ups at bay. I usually take one day a month where I just sleep and nap, or I just sleep and read. Going out on these walks now has really helped me the past couple of months, where I had that flare-up last a week or two ago, but it wasn't as bad. So, and what I would usually do on those lazy days where I would stay in bed is I'd take a chunk of my TBR and I'd go through. Like, I would give each book sort of 10 pages or so, and then if it grabbed me, I kept it on the TBR. If not, it's giving away. So I think, since I haven't done one of those lazy day things in a while, and I really want to get through that intimidating pile that makes me feel guilty every time I buy books, because it's getting bigger and bigger, and sort of go through sort of that TBR. And a lot of them have the books that I've already gone through and have kept on my TBR, but towards the bottom towards the bottom, there's ones that I haven't gone through yet. So I'm thinking of doing like a new sort of like video series where I speed date my TBR. And so yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow I'll start it. Or tomorrow I might do, because I'm gonna do the what to watch during Droughtlander today. Tomorrow I might do a where is it? And I got them set up because I actually played this with my sister. These are the names of Viking characters, the Vikings from the Vikings show, and we played Frack, Marry, Kill, the Vikings edition. I played it with my sister first because she, Julia LeBlanc of the fantastic Outlander videos, does not like being on camera. So we just played it sort of amongst ourselves. But I thought I would do a video where I played it for you guys. So that's a video that I want to do. I'm going to be reading more of Bronze Horseman and annotating it. And yeah, that's going to be a giveaway for somebody. And I had finished the first two of the Strike movies. I finished The Cuckoo's Calling and Silkworm. Loved it. And I was going to watch number 3, which is Career of Evil. But I have a few things that are due soon at the library that I need to get through. And that one, like the Strike one, it's like further down the line. I have this Spanish telenovela that is due sooner and is going to take me longer, so I'm going to get through that first. So I'm going to start that today. And it's called Eva Luna, and let me read the back for you again, just in case, because I know I read it like a long time ago. Well, relatively a long time ago. When Eva's father is killed by a hit-and-run driver, she vows to find the culprit. Her life becomes a nightmare when she starts suspecting the man she loves, but there are sinister forces feeding her belief in this lie, and she soon finds herself romantically involved with the real killer, who will do anything to have her for himself. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I'm going to be starting that today. Yeah, so that's the plan. So today we will be doing the what to watch during Droughtlander. We will be doing some reading, and we will be watching some Spanish telenovelas. So yeah, tomorrow I decided we're going to St. Lawrence Market tomorrow, so that will be fun. Went to my little restaurant here, little cafe here, and today they did not have any cheese danishes, so I has a sad, but that's okay. But my wallet's okay about that, considering that I bought books. Yeah, but hello, I went to the thrift store, okay? Those like 5 books that I got, $10, okay? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So I will talk to you guys later. to explore St. Lawrence Market. It's a bit overcast and it's been raining, so let's see how that goes. But it's like the weather's like cool enough. It's like 15. I think it's gonna be 15 or 16 today. And yeah, my coat has a hood on it, so like I'll be fine. And so yesterday, when I recorded my What to Watch During Droughtlander Vikings edition, and that was a lot of fun. And I forgot to mention that also what I'm reading right now. I mean, we have the Bronze Horseman, which I am annotating, and we'll be giving away this annotated copy for one lucky person. And in the Bronze Horseman, again, this is a reread for me because the Bronze Horseman is my favorite series of all time, and the Bronze Horseman is book 1. So it's book 1 that I'm annotating and we'll be giving away because I specifically got this one to annotate and give away because I have another copy which I love the cover of more. So this one I thought would be a good one to give away. We are up to the part where, if you don't know, I think I mentioned, it's a World War II set love story between a American posing as a Russian soldier and a Russian girl, and it starts with the Germans declaring war on Russia in June of 1941. I'm up to the part where Tatiana, the heroine, has gone off to find her twin brother, who they sent away in the hopes of protecting him from being drafted into this war. But now the camp that they sent him away to has either been bombed, or they found because a lot of the parents sent their children, their boys, to outside of the city so that they could avoid being dragged into this war. But the parents have been trying to reach the brother, and there's like been no answer, and they're all like scared that something has happened to the brother. And the mother, her mother, and her father kind of didn't like. I hate her father too. Now that I've reread that scene, because I always sort of focused my hatred on her mother, but the father sort of makes a comment that might be construed as agreeing with her. But the mother basically says, like, why did God have to take our son? Why couldn't he have taken Tatiana or Dasha, who is the other girl? Why couldn't he have taken one of the girls instead of our beloved only son? And I have hated her mother ever since that moment. When later on, when things happen, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it one iota. But I don't want to spoil. So, for those of you who have not read it, for those of you who have read it, when I'm annotating it and commenting, I'm annotating and commenting as someone who has read the book before. So there will be comments alluding to what happens later. So if you haven't read it, I would not recommend entering a giveaway for this annotated copy. I would recommend the giveaway if you would like an annotated copy of this book that you have already read. Just throwing that out there. Or if you don't mind little spoilery tidbits sprinkled throughout the book. So yeah, about, how many pages am I in that? I'm about 168 pages. And Alexander, our American who's stuck in the Russian army, is in love with Tatiana and has gone off to find her. So that's sort of where we are. And I also meant to tell you guys what I am reading right now, and like my work read, my reading during my breaks and my lunches and my commutes and my evil day job read is The Pleasure of Your Kiss by Teresa Medeiros. And it is a sort of a second chance, kind of enemies to lovers historical about, what's his name? Ashton and Clorinda. And they had known each other when they were younger, and there was some monkey business that happened. But then Ashton went off because he felt like he wasn't good enough. He was going to go find his fortune, and so he broke Clorinda's heart. And then Clorinda finds love apparently with his brother, and they're engaged. And then Clorinda gets kidnapped by some sultan and is being held in like a pleasure house with her maid / friend Poppy, who normally I don't enjoy side plots in my romances, but I can't explain how they have to be done for them to work for me, but there are certain ways that they're done that work for me. And Gracie does this, and I'm liking the side plot with Poppy and Farouk, the sultan who owns the pleasure house, who is keeping everybody hostage, pretty much. But yeah, so now Ashton has gone to rescue Clorinda from this pleasure house, and turns out that Farouk is an old friend of his who Farouk's father had sent him to Eton so that he can get like a Western education. So he and Ashton actually know each other, but Ashton and his friend Luca, I think his friend's name is Luca, are there to kind of rescue Clorinda, but they don't want to tell Farouk that they're there to basically take his hostage back. So it's a bit tricky, but really enjoying it so far. Really enjoying it. So I started watching Eva Luna, which is the Spanish telenovela, and I'm liking it, but I'm not liking it as much as I liked Amor Bravio. Because, okay, so Eva, her father gets killed by a hit-and-run driver, and who is the brother of the girl that the hero is actually dating. So the hero, Daniel, and Eva meet, and he falls in love with her eventually, because at first it's sort of a bit prickly. It's sort of like that classic like angry meeting kind of thing, and like I hate you kind of thing, but then they don't really, and then they end up like falling in love with each other. But he has a girlfriend, but yet he insists that like what he's feeling for Eva is so like unlike what he feels for his girlfriend, and she's kind of like attracted to him and in love with him, but dude has a girlfriend. So, and then there's the brother who is the brother of the Victoria. Victoria is Daniel's girlfriend, and Victoria's brother Leonardo is the one who actually killed Eva's father. Now, Eva doesn't know this clearly, but Leonardo wants him some Eva too. So it's sort of Daniel and Leonardo kind of circling around Eva, and Leonardo doing everything to sort of sabotage their relationship, Daniel and Eva's relationship, and causing Eva all kinds of like horrible angst and stress, and just Daniel, I'm like, dude, just either stop chasing after her or break up with your girlfriend. One or the other. And there's like silly misunderstandings that happen like every time. There's too many. Like every time something like bad happens, Eva like just believes it like so easily. Anytime like Leonardo says something bad about Daniel, Eva just believes it, even though it's been proven that what Leonardo says time and time again is bullshit, and yet she believes him like every time. And so I'm liking it, but I liked Amor Bravio better. So today we're going to go out, we're going to check out St. Lawrence Market. I'm going to do my video, my Frack, Marry, Kill for Vikings Edition. And then we're just going to hang out and do some more reading and annotating. So looking forward to that. And that's sort of the plan for the rest of the day. Going to be watching some more of Eva Luna. I'm about like 4 episodes in. And again, it's one of those the DVD sets usually that like are in the that I get from the library are like condensed versions. And Eva has this sister, Alicia, who's such a special, precious girl. I love her so much, but she has this psychotic boyfriend. He's just completely psychotic. But so the DVD editions, that library editions, are usually like the heavily condensed, edited down editions. And the editing for this one is not as great as like previous telenovela editions that I've had. Like the Amor Bravio one was good, the Scravizata one was good. The way that they were editing, you didn't feel like you were missing any bits of the main sort of story. In this one, you have scenes that are happening, that start to happen, that never get a resolution to in that scene, and then in the next scene they're somewhere else completely different and something else is happening. So the editing for this one, not as great. But I'm still enjoying it. So I'm going to be watching some more of that, going to be doing some reading, and for lunch I'm thinking some fish and mashed potatoes maybe. Yeah, so I'm going to head out now, and I will talk to you guys later. got back from my walk to where I explored the St. Lawrence Market, and it was lovely. It really was. Like, it wasn't, like, primarily I knew that, like, the flea market stuff and, like, the, like, vendors and stuff usually were on the weekends. But even, like, on the weekdays, it is, like, primarily, like, food market stuff. But it's, like, food market stuff from, like, everywhere. Like, there's Ukrainian food, there's sushi, there's Latin American food, there's or like Latin food, there's just ethnic food from, like, and like international food markets, like, all over the place. And there's a few, like, jewelry souvenir kind of shops and, like, jewelry shops and, like, kitschy, knick-knack shops, but not as many as I know that there are, like, on the weekends. So but it was, like, I really, really enjoyed it, and I'd definitely, like, go back there if I wanted to do some, like, specialty, like, food shopping. Yeah, they did have, and I went there hoping that maybe there might be, like, a jewelry place that, like, sells, like, cameo rings and stuff, and there was. And they had, like, cameo rings, and I was looking at them, and I asked, like, how much they were, and she was like that they started at $300. So I continued on my way to the, like, Ukrainian food shop. I looked around in there because no, that is much more than I wanted to pay. So I might just have to, like, go online and get my cameo ring from there. I tried Toronto, but y'all are too much. So on my way back, I saw that there was this international, not international, but the Gateway magazine store, and they had books in there. So I thought, clearly it's God's will. So I went in, and I was actually looking for these magazines, these decor magazines that I can't find anywhere anymore. They're called Unique, and it was all, like, ritzy, like, mansions and estates and, like, those kind of, like, houses and those kind of, like, settings and, like, decor and just stuff that I would usually use for when I write my books and that kind of stuff. But I cannot find them anywhere anymore. They were Unique and, like, Dreams International, something like that. And I didn't know for where they went. I didn't know. In Toronto, I cannot find them anywhere anymore. But I did. It was right there. It was right there. And don't judge me. It was $5. $5. And I only bought one. I was a good girl. I only bought one. It's 7 Letters by J.P. Moniger. And it's all about this couple who her husband goes missing. And yeah, so looking forward to that. And also at the St. Lawrence Market, right, like in the entrance, they have these, like, free magazines. So I grabbed that, and one is a sort of travel magazine, and this issue, you're going to Australia, California, St. Martin, and Bali, and it's all, like, different places and just, yeah. And along with it, it was like a two magazine, like, set in like the plastic bags, and this one is called Foodism, and it's about food. So grab that. So down, like, in the lower levels is, like, the food shops and the occasional souvenir shop, a kitschy shop here or there, jewelry shop, but again, not like they have the art kind of shops and like that kind of stuff in on the weekends, and like vendors with like different crafts and like that kind of stuff, and like antiques and like all that, like on the weekends. But they do have an art gallery in one of the upper levels, and I went there, and that was really nice. They had like a lot of different cool paintings and stuff, and like different Canadian artists and that. So that was really, really nice. So now I think I'm going to do my Frack, Marry, Kill Vikings edition video first, and then I'm going to have some lunch. Gonna make some lunch. And first though, I keep forgetting that I wanted to do this, and it was because Thanksgiving was this past Monday, and right when I started this vlog, I wanted to start off with things that I'm grateful for this year. And so, and I kept forgetting to do that. Every time I finished the vlog, that part of the vlog clip, and then I went off and I was like, God damn it. But yeah, so things that I'm grateful for. I am grateful to have a evil retail job that I pretty much enjoy more than any retail job that I've had. There's still parts of it that suck, but in comparison, I enjoy it better. Because, you know, I enjoy the people for the most part that I work with, and there are books there, and employee discount. I am grateful for the fact that I finally finished writing Blood Vows Book 4, The Choice, and that it's off to the editor, so looking forward to getting that back. But I'm grateful that I have this love for writing, doing this. It's not always like there's parts of it that some days I don't want to. I just don't feel like it. But I still love doing it as a whole. So I'm grateful that I still have that. I still have my writing. I'm grateful that I am surrounded by so many books, even though it's getting a little out of hand there. But I am grateful that I'm able to read and enjoy so many different worlds and characters, and that I am just able to be surrounded by these things that I enjoy. I am great to get a little deeper. I am grateful that the grief of the past year of losing my sister last year is starting to lessen, and that sort of links into the next thing that I'm grateful for. Is I'm grateful that I'm able to healthy enough and to go like on these walks that have been for the past couple of months an immense help, I think, in helping to ease that grief and just put me in a more positive mental headspace. I am grateful that my relationship with my other sister is closer than ever due to a mutual sharing of the things that we love. And yeah, just we're closer, and that's nice. Let me try and think. I am grateful that I have lived in the same, going to be 10 years this February, that I've lived in the same place, in my little apartment that I love. And that I am able to support myself and, that cook for myself, and I'm grateful that I can cook and that I enjoy cooking. And yeah, just basically that I am able to live by myself for the past 10 years in one place after a very after a childhood really full of upheaval. Just, even though like the neighborhood that I'm in is not considered upscale at all, but I love that I am settled in my little apartment, and everything that I love and need is like around me. And yeah, I'm thankful that my anemia flare-ups have gotten fewer and far between. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. That's pretty much what I am grateful for this year. So yeah, I just wanted to make that list. And by all means, I know that you guys in the U.S., your Thanksgiving is in November, but by all means, if you want to list down below different things that you're grateful for, please do. And I am about to go and film my Rack, Marry, Kill Vikings Edition video, and then I'm gonna eat. So I will talk to you guys later. So, we are about to head out on my walk. For today, we are going to be exploring a new free little library. I found one that's on Melbourne Avenue, Melbourne Street. But it's actually, yeah, so looking forward to that. I'm not planning to go to the thrift store, but depending on the selection that we find in this free little library, if I don't find anything that I want to get, I might go. I might be good and not. But if you don't know, the way free little libraries work is you take a book and you leave a book. So I'm going to be leaving. I'm going to be unhauling, dropping off in this little library. I'm going to be giving up Carol Mortimer's Devil Lover, an old vintage Harlequin Presents. Another vintage Harlequin Presents, Margaret Mayo's Fiery Encounter. Because it's like, I'd like to collect them, but I'll collect them, read them, and like keep the ones that like I like, and these ones just really didn't grab me, even though Carol Mortimer is very much the queen of vintage Harlequin Presents. But those ones just didn't grab me. A present day one, Harlequin Presents The Terms of the Sicilian's Marriage by Louise Fuller. And a native romance, which I know is not the thing these days, but it was Rochelle Wayne's Captive Splendor, and it just didn't grab me. If it's like not, I know like a lot of people have issues with it. I do, depending on what happens in them. I don't like just by default not like to read them. But this one, it just didn't grab me. So those are the 4 that I'm going to be leaving in the free little library. We'll see what we pick up. This actually really picked up. The Spanish telenovela Eva Luna that I told you I was reading, or that I was watching, and it was sort of like getting to the point where I was just sort of, she was just not doing it for me. She was just becoming like too stupid to exist, in that she was your typical like good, kind, warm, so perfect, and just always like doing the right moral thing, and oh no, your fiance is threatening to kill herself. Instead of dumping her and putting, or like insist that like she be committed to a mental institution, no, we can't live with ourselves if she kills herself. You must go back to her and like be with her and make sure that she's happy, and just never, because we can't have this tragedy happen. She was that girl. And if this took place, if this was a historical, I could have bought that premise a little more. But no, this was present day. No. Mental health, we all know, we're more aware of it now. If a woman is threatening to kill herself if you dump her, you dump her. You dump her ass. Because she is not right in the cabeza. And you go to her family and say, you need to have this bitch committed, because she's threatening to kill herself if I leave her. But no. Eva was all like, oh no, you have to go back to her because we can't live with ourselves if she kills herself. So I was about ready to like just powering through, just because I wanted to see how it ended. But then it took a turn. Because the whole time, my biggest problem with her was that she believed every stupid thing the villain would say to her, or like any like of the bad characters would say to her about the hero, and then she'd go off and cry. Oh, he lied to me, he betrayed me, and she'd cry and cry, and then like something would happen, and then they'd be okay, and she'd love him again, and it would go like back and forth like that, to the point where it got like really, really annoying. It got to the point where I like the hero, Daniel, I like him, but he did it too. He believed something about her that wasn't true, and was like very angry at her about it, because his girlfriend set her up to be falsely accused for stealing money from him, and made it look like the only reason that Eva was with him was for his money, even though all this other stuff had happened, where if you look at the way that she behaved, you know, she was willing to give up her happiness so that you can go and make sure that your fiance didn't kill herself. She was like this good person, and then all of a sudden you believe that she's a gold digging hole. But I was willing to give him a pass, because he didn't like. I'll give him this one. I'll give him this one mistake, because she, every single time that somebody said something bad about him that was not true, she believed it every single time. He did it once. I'll give him the one. But yeah, so his girlfriend sets her up to be falsely accused of theft, and so she's like on the run. And at this point, the only character I like is the patriarch Julio, whose wife is a evil bitch who's trying to kill him. So to get his revenge on her, he fakes his death, and then in his will leaves everything, pretty much everything, to Eva. He leaves the wife nothing. So then Eva's in hiding. He goes and finds Eva and is like, we're gonna get them back. We're gonna get them back for everything they've done to you, and we're gonna make them pay. So he gives her this like high society makeover, and like somehow like I think it's like he sends the wife a letter from beyond the grave like, and is like, if you don't drop the charges against Eva, like if you want to get at least your part of your share of the company back, then you drop the charges against Eva. So the wife feels like she's backed into a corner, and so she does. So Eva gets this high society makeover, and what I hoped would happen happened. She's pregnant. She's pregnant from Daniel, who at this point is feeling like so betrayed by Eva that he ends up marrying the cuckoo magoo Victoria, and that all happened. But so Eva is pregnant, and she has the baby. It's a baby boy, and so when she comes back, he of course wants to know, is it my son? Is it my son? And she's like, it's none of your business. The child is mine and nobody else's, and blah blah blah. And his idiot evil brother-in-law, who also wants Eva, but he pretty much wants everybody. But he mostly wants Eva because he knows Daniel loves her. It's like that kind of thing. And he tries to make Daniel think that the child is his. That is Leonardo, that's his name. That it's his. So Eva, totally like made over into this high society sort of girl, comes back and is like now the owner of everything. She owns the house, she owns the company, she owns all their asses, and yes, it's picked up. I'm loving how this is going, and of course Daniel tries to hate her, but he can't, and then Eva tries to hate him, but she can't, and they grow closer, and he, like spends time with her son, and feels like, I feel like there's a bond between us. I love this little boy. I need you to tell me, please tell me, is he my son? And where I left off, she's just told him that yes, he's your son. I'm so happy. I'm so happy this turned around. I really, really am. Again, the editing is not that great, in that we're left with like scenes sort of hanging with like without a resolution and that kind of thing. So that's not great. But yeah, really, really enjoying it so far. I'm gonna be starting the last disc today, so sad about that. But I'm really, really glad that it picked up. In the Bronze Horseman, I'm about 220 pages in. Loving it. Loving it. Loving my reread of it. So Tatiana had gone off to try and find and rescue her brother Pasha. She did not find him. She gets injured. Alexander finds her, brings her back, like carries her most of the way back, because she's all like injured, and goes to visit her in the hospital, and they make out a little bit because he's drunk and like can't help himself, and now he's still with Dasha because reasons, and and Dmitri is still like circling her around, and somehow has like insinuated himself kind of into the assumption that he's her boyfriend, even though Tatiana like doesn't, she's never said like, okay, I want to be with you kind of thing. But it sort of has settled into this weird quadrangle, and it's just angst. It's just angst all the time, every day. And yeah, so I got like my little tabbing system going, and very loving the book so much. So going to head out in a bit, and go check out that new free little library. Then I'm gonna come home, and I think I'm gonna do, because I did my Frack, Marry, Kill video, the Vikings edition, yesterday, and I mentioned that I wanted to start a new series where I speed date. I did it wrong. I speed date through my TBR to get that down, because most of them I've already like previewed and put on the TBR that I will most likely be reading them. But there's a few more towards the bottom that I haven't previewed yet. So I think it would be fun to do a video where I speed through a few of them and see if they will remain on my TBR. So I'm going to be doing that, and I will be editing last week's vlog to put up for you guys, hopefully this Sunday. Yeah, so I'm going to be heading out, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what books I get or what books I don't get. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, just got back from my walk where we explored another free little library. So I will show you what I got from there. There were a few books that I picked up. It wasn't a bad little library. And of course I left some books there that I showed you in the previous clip. So first though, and I was very good, I did not buy any books. I did not go to the thrift store. I was good because I knew that I needed to go to the grocery store to pick up some stuff, so I really wanted to sort of be good and what's the word? Not thrifty, but like frugal. Yeah, because you know, inflation and all. So I'll show you first what my little grocery sort of haul little bit that I got, because I have that easier to hand, and then I'll show you the books that I got at the free little library. So I had to pick up some tissue, so store brand tissue, and I wanted to try oatmeal, like actual like oatmeal, because it's getting colder and I just thought it would be nice to maybe try a little bit of a healthier breakfast every once in a while. So this is a variety pack. There's maple brown sugar, cinnamon spice, apples and cinnamon. So there's 4 of the maple brown sugar, there's 2 of the cinnamon and spice, and there's 2 of the apples and cinnamon. So if you have tried any of these, please let me know and what you thought of them. Because I think I tried oatmeal once a long time ago, and I didn't like it very much. But I got the oatmeal, and I also have like little pieces of walnut. What's the word? Like cut up pieces of walnut. I know there's a word for it, and the chopped walnut. Good Lord! I got a little bag of chopped walnuts in my cupboard, and I also thought I would try it with some fruit, sliced peaches. Now, to be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of frozen fruit. I find the taste is a little chemical-y, for lack of a better word, but I thought I would give it a try, maybe with the oatmeal. That will, like, help it. Maybe it'll work. It'll work. And I also got my bistro style fries, because I want to have that for lunch today with some chicken, and yeah, so got that, and I think it's only one of three baskets left, but sadly I couldn't get them all today, so I don't know if the next time I go if they'll be gone, but this might be my last basket of my favorite grapes. So there's that. So that is what I got. Over there, because underneath that are the books that I found at the free little library. So let's bring that over. There, I got 3 books. Yes, 3 books. First is, and it looks like a short one for James Michener, but it's Poland by James Michener, and he's sort of like the Edward Rutherford type, like the history of the place, like, and he peoples it with characters, and you just follow them along as the country or city grows, like over sort of the history of a location over many generations, through many generations and years. And yeah, it seems like one of his smaller books, but looking forward to that. And this one is called The Memory Wood by Sam Lloyd. And I got this one because it's about this girl, I think, who's kidnapped, and this other boy finds her, and like, no, the boy has actually lived in the woods, I think, and then Alyssa has been kidnapped, and so yeah, it's sort of their kind of their kind of story, and so very much looking forward to that. Again, I'm not a big fan of mysteries, but that one sounds interesting. And this one, he's a big boy, and it's The Kindly Ones by Jonathan Littell. I think it might be Littell, because it's actually translated from French. So it's an English translation of a originally French novel. Translations by Charlotte Mandel. And this one has to do with a man living through, I believe, he is a former Nazi officer. So, very much looking forward to reading that and seeing sort of his story and development and the horror, and it talks about like the horrors that he's witnessed and like all that kind of stuff. So those were the 3 books that I found in the Free Little Library. So not a bad one, not a bad bit there. So for right now, I am going to prepare my lunch, and then I'm going to do my speed dating. God damn it, speed dating through my TBR, and I'm going to pick a stack of books and go through usually the first 10 pages or so, and see if they grab me. If not, they will be given away and or donated, and if they do, then they will remain on my TBR pile, and my TBR mountain over there. So that's what we're planning for next. I'm also going to be editing my weekly vlog from last week, and reading some more of The Bronze Horseman by Pauline Ejamie, and annotating that, because that's a fun thing we're doing now, and watching the last disc of the Spanish telenovela Evil Luna. So that's what we're doing for the rest of the day. Back to the Evil Day job tomorrow, and yeah. So I will talk to you guys next time.